And now it's time to see what's coming out today for our media partner, the Baltimore Banner.
Yes, in her latest column, Leslie Grace Streeter suggests that the reality TV show The Traitors underestimates its female players, which Leslie says is similar to what happens to women in real life.
So Leslie joins us now to talk more about this. Good morning, Leslie. Leslie, I feel like I see The Traitors everywhere. All of my friends are telling me I need to watch. For those not familiar, please describe the show to us and sort of what inspired your column.
Okay, so The Traitors basically is a show on Peacock that is led by Alan Cumming, the Scottish actor, that's already like over the top, and they're in a Scottish castle. There's a bunch of reality stars who get together. It's basically like a murder mystery party, but more expensive than one you could ever afford. It's like in a big castle, and they pick these people called traitors that the rest of the cast doesn't know, and they have these cloaks, they pretend to murder you. It's all these crazy stuff. So anyway, Phaedra, do you know who Phaedra is?
Yes, of course we know who Phaedra is. Of course,
okay.
Leslie.
So, well, the thing is, other people on the show didn't. When you have shows like The Real Housewives, where you think they're just sitting around eating and, like, throwing wigs at each other, but really they're, like, plotting for screen time and, you know, all kinds of, you know, cross stuff. So you have people like on Big Brother and Survivor and people who understand that those are, like, competitive shows. So they completely underestimate not only the housewives because they don't know who they are, but I think it's because they're women. So Phaedra, if you know, is super, super not someone like the Wu-Tang Clan to mess with. You don't mess with Phaedra. But they do it anyway. And this guy, Dan Giesling, who won Big Brother twice, who was just unfamiliar with her and that she talked herself out of being eliminated twice, once at his expense. Also, there's a woman named Parvati Shallow, who was very famous from being on Survivor, who literally led an all-woman team called the Black Widow Brigade, who once voted a guy out with his own idol. They said, can we borrow it? Show that you love us by giving us your idol, and then they voted him out. Savage. And he knew that about her and still ignored her advice. So there's something that a Harvard Business Review story from a couple of years ago termed called role incredulity, which basically means that we are conditioned by society to be incredulous that women have certain skills or are in charge. Like the thing when you walk in, I'm sure everyone in this panel has walked into something and they thought you were a secretary or an intern or assumed that you didn't know what you knew because they assumed a guy was in charge. And that happens everywhere in society, and it happens on these shows. And I think particularly when you're from a show where you have a skill that's like talking and being nice to people and getting to know people and not like carrying a tree up a mountain or whatever they do on those shows.
And I must say, I watched those two clips where Phaedra talked her way out of it. Masterful. Yeah. Absolutely. That lady knows what she is doing.
You cannot be that smart if you are underestimating Phaedra.
Right.
I mean, I would not play with her. Never, never. Talk about how this backfires when you underestimate these women because you don't realize how talented and skilled they are.
Well, because you come in, if you don't know who they are and you don't bother asking anyone, who is this person? Should I be afraid of her? Is this something that I should worry about?
Yes, you should.
And so because I think like I said that society as the royal we puts a premium on skills that seem masculine, particularly on shows like this, like making big moves and, you know, running up mountains and swinging off stuff and hanging on a thing with your foot. You know, and not like there was a woman, Cerie Fields, who won the first season of The Traitors, who was on that Black Widow Brigade, who's a 50-something, very mom-looking older black woman. And people just trusted her because she just seemed so nice. And she's trying to win the same money you are, right? She's not there just to be there because she had nothing else to do that day and went to Scotland. She's there because she wants to win. And I think it backfires. It backfired on Dan Giesling, like I said, because he scrambled to throw Phaedra under the bus. They were both traitors, and he didn't realize that she was going to be able to. She's a lawyer to talk her way out of twice, particularly like I said at his expense. She's masterful, and I think that happens because like him or the guy who gave up his idol, he's like, well, there's these cute little flirty girls, and I want to like them, and they're like, they voted every single man off that island. Every single, and then they turned on each other, but they came together then. And I think that if there's a woman, Angela Rockstar, who's from Columbia, Maryland, who was on Big Brother in season 20. She said if women spent more time saying, no, you're smart to each other. No, you're the one that should be in charge, and not just believing this idea that a man is automatically in charge because he's a guy or because he thinks he's in charge, then we'd be a lot better off.
So you are all smart, we are all smart, and we run the world. Thank you, Leslie.
And if you'd like to learn more about this story or others from the Baltimore Banner, head to thebaltimorebanner.com.